Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Oracle. So Christmas is coming up and we decided to give you a massive present this week. We're going to go through exactly what's going on right now in the markets. We're going to talk about on-chain analysis. We're going to talk about technical analysis. We're going to give you some picks of the best coins you can get into this week and next week leading up to Christmas. So let me get right into it. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button if you like our content, leave comments in the comment section down below. Join our Discord. There is tons of people joining right now to get whitelisted in our NFT launch happening next year and taking part to our community. So let's get going right away. So first things first, let's talk about on-chain analysis and let's see what is going on leading to the new year. So let's start talking about supply shock. So let's start to explain this chart. What's the blue line? What's the BTC price, and how do they relate to each other?
So in this chart, we can see in the blue line what the long-term holders are doing. So we can see in the last few months from the crash of May, long-term holders have been accumulating. So you can see the supply shock of long-term holders is being going up, which means there's less supply on the market because they have been accumulating. And usually this is a very bullish things. Like as you can see, the long-term holder usually scale into the market, so accumulates during bears, like you can see the bears of 2019, and scale out selling into strength for short-term holders during the tops, for example, January 18, or you can see there's a nice dip on the January 2021 during the top. And this is actually very, very interesting. Like it seems like we actually had a very short bear market in the last of few months, and then we are ready, all the metrics are reset, and then it looks that we're ready for another very good bull market, and the metric just now turning down a bit, which is usually a very bullish signal.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good. I mean, we're seeing basically in the past, as soon as the market starts going up, as soon as we start going parabolic, we start seeing long-term orders taking profits effectively. And, you know, we want to see that. We want to see that happening. We've seen them accumulating in the last few months. We want to see them taking profits, and that will drive the market up as retail comes in as well. So let's go to the next point.
Yeah, you can see that. No, I'm gonna say.
Right,
yeah, you can see like basically the in inverse relationship that we were talking about before. So the green line is the long-term holder supply, and the violet line is the short-term holder supply. So as you can see, well, when there are tops, the long-term holders sells into short-term holders. So you can say the violet line actually goes up because short-term holders are buying of all long-term holders. And right now we actually in the starting phase in which short-term holders finish accumulating, and short-term holders are mainly out of the market. And yeah, as I was saying,
I think this is a good point, like especially to everybody listening today. You want to be early in this game, you want to take profit. So, you know, if we go back to 2014 and we look at this chart, what we're seeing here is that right before the top, as thing went parabolic, people that had been in the space for a long time, they started taking profits. And people that just joined, that basically caused the parabolic move, they started buying. So we see this green line basically opposite of the purple line. And then as the market went down, consolidating, the long-term orders started buying, and the short ones started selling because, you know, they were on a loss and they panicked. And we saw that again in 2018, you know, as we went parabolic, long-term started selling, retail started buying, and we're seeing that again. We want to see that happening again. We want to see things going parabolic. And it's a good thing when you see long-term holders selling in this case, or at least an interesting thing. We can expect things to go slightly up for a last short bull run. Next up, let's talk about on-chain cost basis.
So here in this chart, you can actually see the ratio between short-term holder supply against long-term holder supply. So basically, when you see these kind of spikes, it means that the short-term holder supply is way higher than the long-term holders. It means there's a lot of speculation. When 2004, with all the long-term holders sell into short-term holder strength, and as we see actually, like in 2021. We never even got to the same level of the blow off top of 2018. We actually stopped at a very low level, and where now it seems like we're starting to grind up again. So as you can see, usually you have the low during the bear market, and it's actually a very good metric, not to time the top, but a very good signal where you can see tops. So when this ratio of short-term holders versus long-term holders is very high, it means we are in phase of euphoria. And right now we're just starting grinding up. We've seen the reversal, which is very bullish.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I think this, compared to the previous one, you basically put these two lines together and you end up with this blue line. And yeah, as he said, when we see this massive spikes, it's basically the short-term holders are buying a lot, the long-terms are not. Effectively, that's what we're seeing. And we haven't even hit something like what we've done in the past. So let's keep going. Let's talk about supply shock ratios, which people may be a bit more familiar with. So let's explain what this blue line is, the liquid supply shock ratio, and how does it relate to the price? Why is it good?
So in this chart, we can see the liquid supply shock ratio. So by liquid, it means the all part of the supply which is not available to buy. So it is held by entities that usually, when they buy, for example, 4 Bitcoin, they never sell. They sell at most 1 out of 4 and they held the other 3. So that's how we define liquid. And we consider this metric is trending up, which means the liquid supply is increasing. So there's less supply on the market, which usually means that the price is very likely to go up and easier, because the moment there's going to be more demand, the supply is actually very low. So we can see a supply shock happening in which the price shoots up because there's not enough supply for the demand that is coming into the market.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. And then let's jump into, again, supply shock ratios. Let's take a look at the divergence in between bears.
So yeah, a very interesting way in which you can use these metrics and see the divergence between price and the supply shock of liquid entities. So when price is grinding up, but people, long-term holders are accumulating, are buying, you can see this divergence. They usually resolve, the price resolved in the direction of the metrics. So, for example, during July 2021, we have everyone thinking, we're going bear market, Bitcoin is dead. Actually, you can see in these metrics, the liquid supply was grinding up, but the price was grinding down. So it was a very bullish metrics. And the same thing is happening right now. So yeah, that was better.
Yeah, I think what's interesting to see here, guys, is that basically you think of this as the less Bitcoin you have in the market, the more it appreciates, the more its value is higher. And if the price is going down, it doesn't necessarily mean we're in a bearish market. And that's exactly what we've seen here in July 21, September 21. We've seen the price going down, but we're seeing the liquid supply ratio going up, which means that Bitcoin was effectively more rare, harder to find. And on the long term, you would expect the price to go up. All right, and then yeah, let's take a look once again at a more concrete example. Let's zoom in a little bit more about bearish divergence and bullish divergence.
Yeah, so yeah, you can say what I was talking about before. So you can clearly see this divergence that we had on June, and the same thing is happening right now. So price is grinding down, but the actual supply is diminishing, the available supply, and the liquid supply is augmenting. So the same thing is also happening in Ethereum in this moment. And yeah, when you see this kind of metric, it's very bullish because it means that most of the supply is not available to buy. So the actual moment when retail or more demands comes in, is very likely that the price is going to shoot up a lot.
All right, yeah, I think that's pretty clear as well. And lastly, let's talk about Bitcoin realized price. I think a lot of people may have seen this chart around Twitter and around socials. Let's give it a bit of an explanation. What are these bars and what is this orange line? What does this all mean, and why is it good right now?
So the realized price is a very good metric to actually see the actual value of the Bitcoin market cap, the Bitcoin network. So basically, instead of the actual value price of Bitcoin right now, it sums up all the cost at which a coin is being bought. So for example, I don't know, Satoshi, like some people bought like 10 years ago and it never sold, so their Bitcoin is weighted way less because it's never been sold. So you can see in this chart the difference, like when the normal price is very high and there's a big difference, it means there's a very big speculation. And in general, right, you see the 3 different phases in which the price stays flat. Usually is a period of capitulation of bear market, and then the actual realized market cap starts grinding up, which means the long-term holders are selling, so realizing the cost of the actual coins. And this is what happened on the 2021. And then we have this little bear, which the actual realized price stabilized. So these long-term holders and people that held these coins, the cost they stayed the same, which means that no one actually sold and realized more the price. And now we actually see that we are accelerating again, which is usually the start of the next bull market, a new period of euphoria.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think this is really interesting. So guys, thank you for watching, and thank you for sticking around. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button, ask us any question about it. Join our Discord. We're going to do a lot of festive videos. We're going to talk about what's coming up next year. We're going to drop some major news revolving around NFTs, and you can get whitelisted by simply joining Discord and inviting a couple of friends. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow with another video on technical analysis on all of the major and best coins to buy this week. Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.